Welcome to Tea Time, the only video game show that answers the questions no one cared enough to ask. This episode is brought to you by the Black & Decker Dustbuster, because sometimes you need to actually clean off that Xbox One and play some games. In all seriousness, I finally cracked open my Xbox One after like a year to play Gears of War 4. I was instantly reminded of how rad that series is, and how cool the Lancers are. And that brought something else to mind, a little idea that I had way back in my podcasting days. It's called the Chainsaw Theory. Now I know what you're thinking. And I'm glad you asked. You see, the Chainsaw Theory is very simple. I think every video game ever made would be better if you added a chainsaw. Now don't worry, we are going to go through the proper scientific method with this theory. So here to help me out is the coolest scientist I know, it's Bill Nye. Thank you so much for being here, Bill. Now we're going to go through the proper scientific method with this thing. Are you ready?
Humans discovered or invented the process of science.
Well, I am a human. Let's do it. Step 1 is to simply see what's out there. I already mentioned Gears of War. Now the first game deserves a lot of credit for pushing third-person shooters forward. It pretty much perfected sticky cover, mantling, and roadie runs, but it also decided to stick chainsaw blades on an assault rifle. Boom, instant classic. You think Gears, you think of sawing Locust in half. Then there's Resident Evil 4. I've talked about this game a lot on this show, and that's because it's really good. You start out in this creepy village with a Spanish mob attacking you with pitchforks and knives. Then this dude shows up with, you guessed it, a chainsaw. The decapitation move he can pull off is probably the most famous image from that whole game. I mean, they even made a special controller to celebrate it. So what have I observed? Adding chainsaws to Gears of War and Resident Evil was a freaking brilliant move. So can that be used to improve other games?
It might.
Well, let's find out. Now, I've already stated the hypothesis. I think every video game ever made would be better if you added a chainsaw. So now we're gonna apply it to 4 games: Gone Home, Animal Crossing, The Witness, and Knack. What do you think of the theory so far, Bill?
It doesn't always lead you someplace that is inconsistent with common sense.
I think we'll be all right. Let's go to step 3. Let's add a chainsaw to these games and see what happens. First up, Gone Home. You get to the end of that game by removing a hidden panel, getting a key, and going up to the attic. If you know where the panel is ahead of time, you can speedrun the game in like 30 seconds. But if you were to enter the house with a chainsaw, you could just skip the panel, run upstairs, cut a hole into the attic, climb up, and enjoy your new speedrunning record. Let's talk about Animal Crossing. How much time did you spend shaking trees to collect fruit or some stupid bells? Screw that. Just chop the tree down and take all the fruit you want. And if Tom Nook gets lippy about your loan, pull that bad boy out and show him who's boss. Now on to The Witness. Half of that game's puzzles open up gates or doors or secret passageways. But let's take the Gone Home approach and just carve our way into any building we want. Leave the puzzles for the suckers. And finally, there's Knack. Take your chainsaw, destroy your copy of the game. It's garbage. So, Gone Home, Animal Crossing, The Witness, Knack. Are these games better with chainsaws? Are they the same? Are they worse?
These are interesting questions.
Tell me about it, Bill. And now for the last step. Now, it's a bit tough to do this last step without creating a bunch of mods from scratch, so we're gonna have to take a different approach. Think about those games and answer the question for yourself. Go out and play some games that already feature the handy-dandy chainsaw. Only you can answer this theory for yourself. And I think that's gonna do it. Bill, is there anything you want to add?
Is reality real or is reality not real and we are all living on a ping pong ball?
Well, that's a bit deeper than I really wanted to go, but hey, thank you for being here. Give it up for Bill Nye, everybody. So, that's the chainsaw theory. Do you agree with me? Do you think I'm an idiot? Go ahead and jump into those comments and list a couple games that you think would be improved with a chainsaw. And if you want to leave some sort of question or obscure topic for another episode, go ahead and leave that too. And for more videos and podcasts and articles, head on over to LaserTime. Thank you all very much for watching. Special shout out to these guys for suggesting games for the episode. And speaking of video games, Let's go play some.